Hey guys, I got one I wanted to share with you that I happened to run across. I was reading about an attack in Pocahontas, Virginia, and I'm just going to put it out there to y'all. I know you're going to enjoy this one. Hang out till the end, and you'll really see, I think, what I'm talking about. Uh, it happened around August 13th of 2020. It was a waning crescent moon with 33% illumination. Animal blamed for the attack was a black bear. Happened around 12:35 a.m. to a Tony Yop, age 42. Mr. Yop was headed home around 12:35 a.m. from visiting at his parents' house. Whenever he arrived at his house, he says, "The way my porch is set up, it's like a complete right triangle." Yop recalled, "I walked up to the sidewalk to the two steps on the left that led up to the porch. So it is completely a blind spot, and you would not even be able to see what was around the corner, even if I would have had my porch light on." As he walked up the sidewalk as usual, he said, "I put my left foot upon the bottom step, and instantly when I turned my head 90 degrees," he says, "the bear," in parentheses, bear, "was standing there in the dark." All right. Okay. Now, he was attacked by the bear. He was later took to the hospital. They're calling it a bear. You're going to see why I do not believe this is a bear. He received 4 stitches. He had some marks, which I'll put a picture up here in a minute to show you kind of what his shoulder looked like. Now this is where it starts to take the turn, where I think from a bear to something else, because even he starts to change his story as it goes on. But it kind of seems like he's afraid to maybe say what it was, because I do know that the federal authorities were involved in this. So okay, so he was attacked. He said, "I walked up the sidewalk as usual. The bear attacked him." Okay, and then you go on and you start reading his statements that he made. He said, "He was standing there taller than me because he was standing up on his hind legs. So whenever he walks up to his porch, this bear is standing up higher than him on the porch, already standing on its hind legs." Uh, it was just weird to me. It was standing on its hind legs. He said, now this is where you're going to really get it. It says, got a fly after me. It says, "It stuck both its arms out. It put its paws under my armpits. Its left hand cut into my armpits, into the muscle under my armpit, and it picked me up." That's what gets me. It picked him up under his armpits. And it picked me up off the steps and it pulled me up to it. My face at this point seemed to be 6 inches from its nose. And at that point, it showed its teeth. I thought it was going to bite me. The two things I noticed whenever I first read that part that popped into my head was the story that my friend left me about seeing it behind my grandma's house and how it looked at him and showed its teeth, and he described it as a cynical smile. Uh, a lot of people say they see the teeth as a smile. Uh, so that, to me, that starts following, you know, something else other than a bear that we know that does these techniques and uses similarities based upon showing its teeth. It tells me that we're going towards something else that people's talked about. Uh, Another weird thing I also thought about was a black bear attacking somebody. Most bears are going to scratch you, attack you like an animal or a cat. They're not going to put their paws up and reach underneath your armpits and pick you up and then look at you. Uh, Another thing I thought about also was the bear been up on the higher part of the porch standing to stick its armpits out to be able to grab him, or to be able to grab him under the armpits with his hands. The bear would have had to have been over and reached down and grabbed him, which would have been very awkward, probably would have caused it to come off the porch. But now if it would have put one foot back, leaving one foot forward, and went into the kneeling position, kind of a squatting position to pick something up, it would stick its hands under his armpits and pick it up, which would produce movement not typical for a black bear. Uh, so that kind of hurts the theory of a black bear would be the movement that would have been needed at that point in time to pick somebody up underneath their armpits, and then to even do that and not to bite its prey. Biologists say is very unrare, because usually a black bear, they said, will bite before it grabs. So just some things I thought was pretty unique. Wildlife gets involved, and most of them are federal. They say the animal's head appeared to be as big around as a laundry basket. Game warden later estimated that the bear weighed approximately 250 pounds. And this is where Mr. Yop starts to talk a little bit. It starts to go from when it first happened to giving statements and stuff, to where he starts kind of going away from a bear. But I think he's afraid to. He may have been talked to at this point. Yop says that he believes that the bear was bigger than the 250 pounds, because he says he has dogs that weigh 130 pounds. He says the encounter happened for a few seconds, but it felt like forever. And then this is where Yop starts making his statements. Yop says, then stated the creature ambushed him. Yop starting to say now that he was ambushed by this creature. Yop stated it was more of an ambush than a chance encounter. So something has led him to believe that whatever it was waiting there specifically for him. So that tells me he's probably had trouble in the past, and probably knew that something had been messing around out of the ordinary, and he knew that it was probably waiting on him. Excuse me. Authorities said the bear wasn't waiting on him. It was probably after a cat upon the porch. Last time I checked, cats aren't very tall. Probably, like this? Maybe 10 inches, 12 the most. Big cat. So why would a bear be standing on its hind legs hunting a cat that's low? After it picked me up, it screamed in my face. This is what, now, he says it screamed. He doesn't say it growled, it roared. It screamed in my face, and it threw me down on my back on the sidewalk from off of the porch. It then jumped over me in the direction that it threw me. So this thing launched him and then jumped even further and over him, landing on 2 feet. Never seen a bear do that one. Yop was treated at the Bluefield Regional Medical Center, where he received 4 stitches, 4 claw marks from his left shoulder to his collarbone. The doctor stated it looked as if something had reached underneath his armpits, grabbed him, and picked him up with long fingernails, or claws. Yop also stated that his neighbor's dogs have been recently attacked. The authorities released a press release, and authorities said that what they are looking at is a rogue bear that has probably left the woods because of all the logging going on in the area. They then advised everyone in the town to be on the lookout, to keep their pets inside, children inside at night, because they have a rogue bear. How many times do we hear that? Keep your pets inside, watch your children, watch your family. It's a rogue bear, it's a coyote, it's a pig, and they don't even match what's happening. A bear leaping off a porch off 2 legs, landing on 2 legs, and running off on 2 legs. I mean, if you're going to cover things up, you're going to have to get better than that, because, I mean, when I first read this, I was like, as soon as I read the part where he said it reached under my arms and picked me up, no, I don't think so. I think that's a pretty telltale sign, and I think we know what happened here. A lot of, I don't know, it's just a lot of things do not fit the narrative of a bear. Hunting for a cat standing on its hind legs it would have been down, hunkered down. You've seen animals hunt. We know how they hunt. I mean, I've hunted all my life, and I know that bears, whenever they're after an animal on the ground, they're on the ground where they're able to grab it, to bite it, catch it. They're not standing, above it. I don't know. But I read this one and I thought, man, I've got to put this out there. It doesn't add up. And that sounds like a pretty good case of, being ambushed, like he said. And that makes me think about, the people's land that I went down to and done this investigation on the Blood Moon Night. I'm going back. We wasn't able to access the part of the land we wanted to, the pond that they have blocked off, because they're even too afraid to go to this pond. They have it blocked off by fence. And it makes you wonder, since they was having trouble at their houses, will these things come up to your house, wait on you, and ambush you? I know they used to come up to my granny's house. You could almost be exact on the time that they would arrive. I mean, it was the same time every night. And some nights was worse, some nights were not. A rainy night, you would think they wouldn't be there. A rainy night was always the worst night. If it snowed, you knew you were going to have a quiet night. It wasn't going to do anything on a snow night. Never did. But if it rained, you could count on it. And if it, was a hot summer night, you would have your usual, your hollers, your whistles, it even said their names. And that'll be in my book if I write one. I'm thinking about writing a book about all this. I mean, I grew up in this, and my mom and her siblings, they grew up in this. There was 8 of them, and my granny, and it happened while they were young, and all the way up through my 20s. So, I mean, there was just a lot of things happened down there, and maybe it's time I share those with everybody, because, I mean, I know they happened. I was there for what I witnessed, for what I went through, and I know my mom and them, and I know that they don't lie, and they're going to tell you the truth, and I know people around the old town, the elders, that told the same exact stories. So, yeah, I'm thinking about writing a book, but I want to share this out there with you guys, just sharing some thoughts with you guys. But I appreciate each and every one of you. We got a new investigation we're looking at right now. Sarah is working on talking to the people that are the owners of the Labadie house. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. That we just visited to get access to the property. We won't trespass. We're respectful in everything we do. She's also looking at another place right now also. So if that works out, we'll give you more information on the Facebook page. And if not, hopefully at the end of one of our videos. I appreciate each and every one of you watching. And until next time, unless one of us gets 8, we'll see you again.